Now at 9, a local organization is helping communities learn more about water safety to prevent drowning. Plus, volunteers from a local church participate in Saturday Serve for area school districts. And
was the president involved in his son's overseas business deals? A whistleblower says he has proof. I'm Kevin Cork in Washington with details coming right up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Amber Jenkins. Local organizations are teaming up today to help residents better understand water safety and prevent drowning. This event is aimed at children aged 5 to 12 years old and featured water safety stations covering various topics such as safety around the water, swimming safety, and staying healthy on the water. Children and parents had the opportunity to learn at each station and practice their skills in the water.
Oh, Missouri's been blessed with a lot of water, streams, creeks, and rivers, and anytime we can help educate again the community and bring opportunities together to have parents and their kids learn together about something so fundamental as water safety. Water is going to be something that children are around constantly the rest of their lives, and so anything we can do to educate our kids on how to be safe around water, I think, is a huge benefit.
All children attending received a free life jacket. Meteorologist Chloe Aurora joins us for the first look at weather.
Well, with your outdoor plans, especially with the kiddos, make sure that you're staying cautious of those warmer temperatures. We're starting to cool down into the 80s right now, upper 80s, 87 for Pittsburgh, Fort Scott, Stockton hanging around at 88. Monette, you're at 86 degrees right now. We were in the upper to mid 90s this afternoon, and our feel-like temperatures in the triple digits. That will unfortunately continue into this week. Another thing to know is the UV index. We're at 11. Typically we see around 9 or 10. This is an extreme level of that UV ray from the sunshine, so make sure that you're staying cautious with that, limiting your time outdoors and making sure that you find shade when and as needed. Coming up in a bit, we're going to talk about the weekend showers. We could see a couple, especially for our southern counties, and even some storm chances this week. I'll have the timeline on that coming up in a bit.
The annual Kids Count data book from the Annie E. Casey Foundation released data that states Missouri is ranked in the bottom third of all states for children health. The data evaluated states for 4 metrics of child well-being, including health, economic well-being, education, family, and community. Only 10 other states had the same or worse rates of child and teen deaths as Missouri. The rate of child and teen deaths was 39 per 100,000 in Missouri in 2021, up from 32 per 100,000 just 2 years earlier. More than 1,000 volunteers from James River Church teamed up today to provide renovations to public schools in Springfield and Joplin, Missouri. The volunteers in Joplin worked on major painting projects at the Jungle Field and the Joplin School District Football Stadium in Joplin. Additionally, they will clean and sanitize every bus in the Joplin Schools fleet.
It's important to serve because we believe that Jesus came not to be served, but to serve. And so we're called to do that as well, so that as we're out in the community serving people, we're demonstrating the love of Jesus to our community.
James River Church Saturday Serve is a monthly event that aims to make a positive impact in the community. The war over parental rights and their children's sexuality is focused on New Jersey. The Democratic governor is there suing their school districts for adopting policies requiring parents to be informed about their children's behavior regarding gender. Fox News correspondent Nate Foy reports.
3 lawsuits filed by New Jersey Attorney General Matthew Platkin claim discrimination against transgender students. New policies in 3 New Jersey school districts require teachers to notify parents if their children show signs of changing gender identities, like using different pronouns or changing names. Attorney General Platkin says, quote, "The discriminatory policies passed by these boards of education, if allowed to go into effect, will harm our kids and pose severe risk to their safety." Parents in Middletown, one of the impacted districts, voiced their support for communication between teachers and parents.
They are here forcing children to turn to other people than their own family. My children belong to me and no one else.
But other parents and gender activists claim involving families could pput trans lives at risk.
You need to listen to your transgender students. It is not your place to decide whether somebody is safe at home or not. It is up to us.
The new policies include exceptions if a child's health or safety is threatened. An attorney representing the Marlboro Board of Education tells Fox News, quote, keeping parents in the dark about important issues involving their children is counterintuitive and contrary to well-established Supreme Court case law that says that parents have a constitutional right to direct and control the upbringing of their children. The state is seeking an injunction to block the policy as the legal challenge plays out, which is exactly what happened last month in Hanover, New Jersey, after a separate challenge by Attorney General Platkin to, in his view, protect transgender students. In New York, Nate Foy, Fox News.
Another poor grade for public education. A new study finds charter school students, in most cases, are doing better than their public school counterparts. For the last 15 years, Stanford University measured K-12 student achievement. In 2009, public school outperformed charter schools. 4 years later, they tied, but the latest study shows in both reading and math on standardized statewide tests, charter school students outperform those in nearby public schools with 16 added days of learning in reading, 6 more days in math. Coming up, we'll hear from the health experts about the dangers of heat-related illnesses and the medicines that could affect them. A bill that would give the president more power to prepare for the next pandemic is being introduced to Congress. The new legislation hopes to target issues that came to light during the COVID-19 pandemic, mainly U.S. supply chain issues that caused a frantic scramble for masks, respirators, and other PPE supplies. Moderna is looking for government approval on a COVID vaccine update. The company is planning to make the update available in the fall after gaining approval from the Food and Drug Administration. The FDA has asked drug makers to provide newer COVID updates that would target subvariant XBB.1.501 of the most immune evasive strains to date. The vaccine could be mRNA vaccine to trigger an immune response. Moderna's effectiveness and safety data will undergo review before approval. As summer heats up, health experts say to be aware. Some medications can cause heat intolerance and can lead to potentially serious complications. Reporter Manny Gather has more on how to know if your medicine may make you more sensitive to the sun.
The heat and some medications, they don't always mix.
If someone's not careful and they're on some of these higher risk medications and happen to be in a heat wave with, prolonged exposure to higher temperatures, they can end up getting sicker.
Dr. Mark Conroy with Ohio State University's Wexner Medical Center says people on certain medications are more likely to end up in the emergency room for heat-related illnesses compared to those who are not on medicine. Drugs that may put you at higher risk of having problems in the heat include medications for blood pressure and mental health, antihistamines, and decongestants.
If there's reports of a heat wave coming up, I would reach out to your local pharmacist or your primary care doctor and just talk to them about the medications you're on.
Not everyone who takes higher risk medications will have a reaction, but Conroy says red flags to watch out for include signs of dehydration like dizziness, not urinating as frequently despite drinking water, and lightheadedness.
You have to be prepared, having an emergency plan, keeping an extra bottle of water nearby, reevaluating the activities you have planned.
Conroy says it's also important to pay attention to how medications are stored. Some medicines can degrade in the heat and be not as effective. He says to keep them out of direct sunlight and not to put them in hot cars. Chloe is next with the complete look at the forecast. And later, the St. Louis Cardinals baseball team takes on the Chicago Cubs. Brock Brawlidge will have the highlights and more in sports.
Well, we started out a little on the rainy side this morning, but that slowly tapered off, and we're left with a lot of sunshine this afternoon and those very sweltering temperatures. Take a look at our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort just west of Seneca, Missouri. The sunset as per usual, is just stunning out there, but the temperatures right now, very toasty, but the feel like temperatures even warmer. Right now we're sitting in the 80s, but the feel like temperatures, because that dew point, we're in the upward 90s, and some of us a little further south into northeastern Oklahoma still feeling like those triple-digit temperatures. That's because of that hefty dew point we have hanging around in the 70s. Here's a comparison of our temperature look versus our heat index. You can see this yellow line is indicating our temperatures dipping down into the 70s, and then our feel like temperatures still feeling like in the 80s. So for the most part tonight, if you step outdoors, notice it's a lot warmer than usual. That's going to continue to trend as we head into the rest of the week, seeing those dew points stay pretty consistent and pretty up there. Temperatures tonight once again dip down into the 70s, but we'll warm right back up into the 80s. Dew points making us feel a whole lot warmer than the lower 80s by 10 a.m. We'll have some chances for precipitation here and there, not a whole lot by any means. This will predominantly be for the southern counties. So for northeastern Oklahoma and northwestern Arkansas, you'll see the back end of this very large system. This is an upper level low is what we call this, a little further up north. I bring this up because we're getting the back end of it a little further south. So that's where we're seeing those scattered showers. It's coming from that large system, so none of it will be severe, none of it will be strong. It'll be very isolated, however. It is the remnants of this storm that continues to rotate. We'll see a little bit of some scattered pop-up showers and storms along with that Sunday afternoon. So we'll get two rounds, Sunday morning and then Sunday afternoon. That'll once again mainly be for northeastern Oklahoma, northwestern Arkansas, and won't last very long by any means. And in fact, we won't really see much precipitation along with this. This will predominantly, or most prominently, be a little further south into northwestern Arkansas, northeastern Oklahoma. We'll see the majority of these showers here and there. Once again, very isolated, very scattered, nothing to worry about as we head into tonight. For the most part, it will be a quiet night for a lot of us. Here's a look at our 7-day forecast. We'll see temperatures skyrocket into the upper 90s, and we could even see triple digits on Thursday and Wednesday and Friday. We're looking at those because they're right at 99 right now. They could reach up into the triple digit mark as well. So that's something we'll keep track of. We'll see some chances for showers next weekend, but nothing severe, just some much needed rain that we could see.
Yeah, we definitely need that rain, and it looks like it's going to get pretty hot coming up in the 4 states.
I'm sweating just thinking about it.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Severe storms brought heavy rain, wind, and hail to parts of Oklahoma last night, the National Weather Service said. Shane Lively took this video outside of Elk City on Friday morning, capturing the sound of the wind-driven rain from the inside of his vehicle. The severe weather storm warning has been issued for Elk City. Strong to severe thunderstorms were expected to continue into the night for portions of Oklahoma and North Texas, the NWS said. Coming up, we'll take a look at the expected gas prices and the travel trends to keep in mind for the 4th of July holiday. 3M has reached an agreement to settle lawsuits claiming toxic chemicals known as forever chemicals has contaminated water supplies in the U.S. The company is best known for producing Post-it notes, Scotch tape, and N95 masks, among other industrial products. 3M announced it would pay up to $10.3 billion over 13 years to fund public water suppliers in the U.S. that had detected the chemicals in drinking water. The chemicals has been found in hundreds of household items, including makeup and carpeting, and are also used to make coatings that repel water, grease, and oil. Your credit card debt stress level may vary based on what state you live in. Creditcards.com reveals states with the highest and lowest credit card debt burdens. People in Mississippi have the highest credit card debt to earnings with over $4,900 of debt and $68,000 in household earnings. Massachusetts residents rank the best with over $5,600 in credit card debt, but around $125,000 in the average household earning. Oklahoma, Louisiana, New Mexico, and Nevada also rank among the lowest states by ratio. The busy 4th of July travel weekend is just around the corner, and if you're planning to drive anywhere in the U.S., there's a slew of new traffic safety data to consider. Meanwhile, summer gas prices are holding steady nationwide. Karen Kaffa is in Washington with a look at what you need to know before you hit the road.
In Philadelphia Friday, a major reopening.
This was a moment of civic pride for Philly and Pennsylvania.
Officials were on hand to reopen a major section of northbound I-95 that was damaged after a fiery tanker truck incident almost 2 weeks ago. The closure slowed East Coast shipping and road trips.
This road is being opened because it's completed, it's safely completed, and it's ready for traffic.
The busy July 4th travel weekend is days away, and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration had more good news for drivers this week. As driver miles ticked up, the agency projecting a decline in U.S. traffic fatalities during the first 3 months of 2023. But a projection from the Governor's Highway Safety Association says drivers struck and killed more pedestrians last year than in any year since 1981. A stark reminder for drivers to keep their eyes on the road, especially at night. Steady gas prices so far this summer could make road trips more appealing.
We've been stuck between $3.50 to $3.60 for a national average going back to April 23. So we've been kind of jumping around within that 10 cent a gallon range, but that's where we find ourselves going into July 4.
Gas Buddy's Patrick DeHaan says careful summer driving may also save you at the pump.
Leaving a few minutes earlier, using cruise control, and going just under the speed limit can really boost fuel efficiency.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kaffa.
A Honda recall over rearview camera issues. The car maker is recalling roughly 1.2 million vehicles in the U.S. This is because the rearview camera image may fail to display on the dashboard screen. The recall includes certain Odyssey minivans from 2018 and 2023, Pilot SUVs from 2019 to 2022, and Passport USVs from 2019 to 2023. Up next, why a Bengals football player is being noticed by a community of DoorDashers. A punter for the Cincinnati Bengals is keeping in shape this summer and helping people out by delivering food around town on his bike. Drew Chrisman has been posting vehicles on social media about his side hustle, DoorDashing. He says he started the gig because he didn't want to pay for an expensive stationary bike and subscription, but it has also turned out to be a contribution to the city. Chrisman uses his wage to buy food at local restaurants so he can hand it out to town or to people. Not only that, but several businesses have donated to support his cause. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Coming up, multiple shootings in St. Louis is leaving parents and community members with questions about gun violence. A recent wave of gun violence in St. Louis has left the community members feeling frustrated. Thursday, a 9-year-old boy became the 41st child to be injured or killed in a shooting since January 1st. A concerned citizen begging for action and the mayor of St. Louis are speaking out. John Kipper report.
Man, ain't no reason why a 9-year-old shot, man. It's no reason for that.
Lisa LaGrone's frustration boiling over after learning a child was shot Thursday afternoon here in the Hamilton Heights neighborhood.
People act like we are insensitized to this stuff.
LaGrone says she's with a group called Safe Streets, Safe Neighborhoods, and she's been to 4 shootings in the last 3 days.
How many bodies I done seen in the last 72 hours? After these shootings happen, I respond to these families. That's my job, man. And I gotta hear these parents cry.
Since January 1st, 41 children have been victims of gun violence in the city of St. Louis.
We have multiple victims on the 5th floor.
10 teens were shot and 1 died after a shooting Sunday morning inside this building on 14th and Washington. Mayor Tashara Jones expressed outrage, asking parents to help keep teens safe.
I need families to hear me loud and clear. Downtown is not a 1 a.m. destination for your 15-year-old.
It's bigger than downtown. We got a citywide problem that people every day gotta listen to gunshots.
LaGrone pleading with local leaders to help shift the tide as the number of children shot in St. Louis continues to rise.
I'm begging this city, man, please, and the state legislature, y'all gotta help us, man. We can't do this. This is killing this community.
2 people were killed and 15 others were injured during a shooting incident at the Large Street Party in Sagshaw, Michigan. According to a news release from Michigan State Police, officers were trying to disperse the crowd multiple times and in different locations prior to the shooting. Police say that about midnight, they received numerous 911 calls about people who were shooting into the crowd. Police say no suspects are in custody and at least 5 different caliber weapons were used in the shooting. The parents of a man killed in a California mass shooting last year are turning their grief into service. Greg Niley Grimes was killed in downtown Sacramento in early morning hours of July 4th. His parents have made progress in convincing the city to adopt safety measures through the Najee's Law Initiative named after their son. If adopted, it would require downtown establishments to have exterior cameras and lighting, make mandatory metal detectors at bars and nightclubs, and hold establishments accountable when violent incidents break out. Chloe Arroyo joins us.
Temperatures once again were very toasty today. We had a wet start to our morning and that dried up pretty quickly, cooling down into the 80s finally across the board. Pittsburgh 85, Neosho 87, Carthage you're hanging out at 88, while Parsons and Chanute, you guys are in the lower 90s still. So we're still pretty warm. We're cooling down just a hair. It's still going to feel like the 80s because of those higher dew points making our feel like temperatures a whole lot warmer. Another thing to keep in mind, those UV indexes, the UV index, both today and tomorrow, we see an 11 UV index. So make sure you get that sunscreen with you and really avoid any long-term outdoor exposure and get under that shade as quickly as possible. Now coming in a bit, we're going to talk about the chances for showers this weekend, the chance for storms throughout the rest of this week, and triple-digit temperatures. I'll have all that information coming up in a bit.
Members of the Directors Guild of America have voted to approve a new contract with movie studios. The 3-year deal was approved Friday night by 87% of membership. It secures wage increases along with global streaming residuals and diversity and creative rights. It addresses some usage of artificial intelligence, mandating that it does not replace the duties replaced by union members. Following the 5-year investigation into Hunter Biden's finances, IRS whistleblower Gary Shapley says that he has proof the president, who was the vice president at the time, did discuss international business deals, including China and Ukraine. Fox News correspondent Kevin Koch is in Washington with new questions being raised after the stemming release of Shapley's congressional testimony.
Let me save you some breath. If you're going to ask about this, I am not addressing.
The Biden administration being tight-lipped about explosive whistleblower testimony, alleging the president was aware of his son Hunter Biden's overseas business dealings. Newly released congressional testimony includes a 2017 WhatsApp text appearing to show Hunter Biden shaking down a Chinese business associate for a payment, invoking his father's name, reading in part, "I'm sitting here with my father, and we would like to understand why the commitment made has not been fulfilled. I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me and every person he knows, you will regret not following my direction."
They got a hold of Hunter Biden's iCloud account, and they did a search warrant to Apple, to the Apple Cloud, where they accessed Hunter Biden's WhatsApp messages, iMessages, and other information. And so this is credible.
The White House stands behind Mr. Biden's repeated comments that he had no knowledge of his son's international affairs.
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings.
I think is pretty compelling evidence that it looks like Joe Biden was involved in this somehow.
This comes on the heels of the president's son accepting a plea agreement with federal prosecutors on 2 misdemeanor tax offenses and a felony gun charge, following a 5-year investigation into his finances. Hunter Biden is expected to enter his plea in that case on July 26th. In Washington, Kevin Cork, Fox News.
Still ahead, how an Arizona organization is helping pet parents keep their animals in their homes with the raising costs.
Well, it was a hot and sweaty day for all of us with those temperatures and the dew point making those temperatures feel even heavier with the heat, bringing it on, continuing to increase. Here is a look at our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Just west of Seneca, Missouri, we've got a couple of lingering clouds here and there, but above all, nothing too crazy to this extent. What is pretty insane is these temperatures feeling like in the upper 90s to lower 100s, triple digits for the northeastern portions of Oklahoma right now. We're currently in the 80s for our actual temperatures. But those feel-like temperatures are really being impacted by the high dew points hanging around in the 70s. And when you have those temperatures and the dew point temperatures in the 70s, that's when it gets really sticky and those temperatures become even heavier on our skin and it begins to feel hotter and hotter. So that's why our dew point temperature, or feel-like temperature, is a lot higher than our actual temperature. Here's a look at the next 48 hours. We'll see 86 degrees tomorrow evening, and our feel-like temperatures will be just a hair warmer than that because of that dew point. Heading into tonight, we'll see those temperatures dip down, actual temperatures dip down into the 70s, 75 for your low, and then by early in the morning or later in the morning as you sleep in, hopefully on your Sunday morning, temperatures will already be in the 80s by then. We will see a couple chances for precipitation early Sunday morning, and then we'll get a break before we see another round in the early afternoon hours into the evening hours as well. We'll see the chance for some precipitation. This is mainly for our southern counties. And here's what's to blame for that. Look at this upper level low, a whole lot further north than what we're seeing. So we're really far down here, but we're seeing the remnants of that storm. So that's why it's important to note this, is that we're seeing the back end of the tail end of this storm system. Once again, nothing severe, just very isolated storms heading into tomorrow. So we'll have two rounds once again into the morning and then another in the afternoon hours, mainly for our southern counties, to keep that in mind, and not much in the way of precipitation across the board. Pineville just under 1/10 of an inch. We'll see that mainly in northwestern Arkansas and northeastern Oklahoma in terms of the rainfall. So really nothing, very sporadic, but that chance is definitely still there. Here's a look at our 7-day forecast. We'll see temperatures skyrocket at this point into the week. We'll see upper 90s and we might even dip into the triple digits by Thursday. I'm kind of eyeing Wednesday and Friday as well because they're sitting at 99 right now. But we could see that triple digit mark on both of those days as well. We'll cool down just a hair with the amount of showers that we'll see Saturday and Sunday. Nothing severe with that, but some much needed rainfall associated with the weekend.
Well, I'm happy that it's not severe, but at least we're getting some rain, and looks like we're going to just have to bear through Thursday, which that 100. Wow.
Yes. Get your AC cranking.
Thank you so much. A massive asteroid the size of a 3-story building is expected to pass Earth this weekend. Fox News correspondent Christina Coleman takes a look.
A massive asteroid named by scientists as 2023 MU2 is expected to pass Earth this weekend. Fortunately, it's not expected to pose any danger. It's roughly the size of a 3-story building and likely to pass our planet from about 134,000 miles away. Now, to put that into perspective, that's a little more than half the distance between the Earth and the Moon. Scientists expect 2023 MU2 to be closest to Earth at 7:19 Eastern Sunday evening. The massive asteroid you're seeing here is Dimorphos. NASA successfully crashed a spacecraft into it to alter its orbit from millions of miles away last September. It's roughly the size of a stadium. NASA says it's the first time that humans have ever purposely changed the path of a celestial object.
This mission shows that NASA is trying to be ready for whatever the universe throws at us. I believe that NASA has proven that we are serious as a defender of the planet.
Dimorphos is expected to be one of 5 asteroids that passes Earth this weekend, and that includes a bus-sized asteroid that's expected to pass our planet Saturday. And on Friday, from about 77,000 miles away, a car-sized asteroid passed Earth. The Virtual Telescope Project, a platform with powerful robotic telescopes, will be live streaming video of asteroid 2023 MU for those who want to view it. Again, it's expected to be closest to Earth at 7:19 Eastern Time Sunday evening. NASA has logged over 32,000 near-Earth asteroids to date, and none are known to pose a significant threat to Earth over the next 100 years, according to the agency's scientists. Reporting from Los Angeles, Christina Coleman, Fox News.
Coming up in sports, the College World Series finals are underway in Omaha. And the St. Louis Cardinals kick off the year's London series. We'll have the highlights next in sports.
Well, the St. Louis Cardinals get a break from the States. The team is in London this evening, taking on the Chicago Cubs in Game 1 of the MLB London Series. The Cubs and the Cardinals are playing in London Stadium. It's the second edition of the London Series. Cubs fan Bill Murray is in attendance. So starting off in the second inning, no score. Ian Happ will send this ball off of Adam Wainwright deep to center field for a solo home run, his 6th of the season. Cubs take a 1-0 lead. Top of the third now, 2-0 Cubs. Ian Happ again. This time this ball's way out of here. Cubs go up 3-0. So after the solo home run, Chicago goes up 5-0. And then top of the fourth inning, Mike Touchman is going to keep this ball fair. It's a ground rule double. All Cubs today in this one. Chicago beats St. Louis 9-1. Royals at the Rays. Starting off in the top of the third, Tampa up 4-0. Drew Waters with a blast to right field, nearly hits the Ray tank there. Solo home run, Royals down 4-1. Top of the fourth now, Royals down 4-3. Freddie Fermin, that ball stays fair down the left field lines, a 3-run bomb. Royals take the lead, they go up 6-4. Later in the inning, Bobby Witt Jr. puts this ball into the gap. It'll be an RBI double. Royals go on to beat the Rays and win it in the Trop 9-4. Well, Sporting Kansas City got their season off to a really tough start, but they're trying to make the playoffs, and they're definitely in reach for Sporting as they set up with a home match tonight against Chicago. Sporting is at home, taking on the Chicago Fire. Both teams struggled to begin their season. Sporting has had a good opportunity to pick up some points, and at the moment, Sporting KC trails Chicago 1-0 in the 74th minute. Well, we've made it to the College World Series final in Omaha. Only 2 teams remain, and the winner, the best of 3, will be crowned national champions. Tonight, the LSU Tigers are taking on the Florida Gators. This game has gone back and forth all night long. Tommy White tied it up for LSU in the 8th, so now we're currently in extra innings, all tied up 3-3. Winner will have a big advantage in tomorrow night's game. It's always great when you see baseball being played around the world, especially in the United Kingdom. I mean, a packed crowd there. We'll see if the Cardinals can get turned around tomorrow.
Hey, it's a fun sport. So
absolutely.
We'll be right back. Pet owners in Arizona are in luck. Many owners have had to surrender their pets because of the increasing cost of having them home. But an organization is helping those furry family members stay in their homes. Fox Ellen McNair has more.
This is Beauty, and this is Beast.
For Cheryl Ross, her dogs are family.
Well, he's 16, so we've had him since they were puppies. So Beast is 16 and Beauty's 12.
She expects them to live out the rest of their lives with her, even though something unexpected happened in her life.
I was laid off at the beginning of the year, and it's just been a struggle since then.
Even during hard times, Cheryl said she would never give up her pups, but she knew that she needed help.
I did a Google search for places that could offer assistance, and that's how I found Bridge the Gap. And I filled out their online form, and Bella was in touch with me within 24 hours.
Bridge the Gap is a program through the Arizona Humane Society.
If we are able to provide these resources and help keep these pets in their homes, we are absolutely going to want to do that because, as you can imagine, our kennels are overflowing.
Kelsey Dickerson says in 2019, about 20 families got help. But with high inflation and the high cost of housing and gas, that number has skyrocketed.
Last year alone, we helped keep almost 700 pets in their loving homes through this program.
After applying, Cheryl was able to get the exact food that her senior dogs eat. Her pups stayed with her, and it gave her some breathing room as she looked for a new job.
Bridge the Gap was amazing. They came through for me at a time that I very much needed help. Asking for help is hard enough. They made it easy.
Up next, how an organization in Arizona is teaching children valuable life lessons while being hands-on. An organization in Arizona is certainly teaching kids how to be more hands-on at home, but potentially even earn their living in the future. Fox Anita Roman takes us there to see what skills these kids are learning.
Welcome to TRF Camp Build.
So my dad's an electrician, and when I grow up, I want to be an electrician like him.
Where kids roll up their sleeves and experience the excitement of hands-on building and gain new insights into the construction industry.
And I want to learn like what my paths are and what I could choose from for my careers.
The Co-Ed Kids Camp was designed by construction experts who are trying to get the next generation interested in the craft trades.
We recognize that there is a gaping hole in our community with the number of workers that are retiring out and the number of workers coming in to the construction industry. So what we wanted to do was fill that gap and empower these kids to feel confident.
Confident enough that these 11 and 12-year-olds will be using adult-sized professional power tools like saws, drills, and blow torches to actually build things, supervised, of course, and they'll be briefed on all the safety rules. And that includes building a real-life doghouse.
I'm excited to build our doghouse today and tomorrow, and I'm because I don't have a dog, so we're donating them to our community.
The 8-week-long camp, which is sponsored by the Rosenden Foundation, is free, but the lesson these kids learn is priceless.
No. Those are the future professionals of America.
They sure are. It's so inspiring to see that and see them grow at such a young age.
It is. So let's talk about weather. What's going on?
Yeah, tomorrow we'll see a chance for some pop-up showers in the morning and in the afternoon, mainly for our southern counties. And we'll see another chance for more widespread rain and possible storms Tuesday night, early to Wednesday morning, and then nothing but hot temperatures for the rest of the week.
Yeah, it's looking pretty hot, but we'll hang in there. I know you're going to keep an eye on it for us.
Yes.
That's all our time for tonight, and thank you for joining us. We'll leave you with a video of lions at the Brookfield Zoo enjoying some ice treats. We'll see you back here next time, and thank you for making us a part of your night.